everybody, welcome to Von Cupcake Yoga. My name is Gretchen and I'm your host for today. Today we're going to do a short morning flow, something to get you going in the morning. Short and sweet, it's perfect for moms on the go or busy people, so we are here for you. Today in your practice, use a couple blocks. Anything roughly the size or shape of this here will work perfectly for you. Heavy books work really well. Blocks are readily available on Amazon and big box markets, so there's lots of options for you to find blocks out there. Everything I tell you today is a suggestion, not a command. Make movements and adjustments that are according to your body. Listen to yourself and see how you're feeling. But let's get started, shall we? And we're going to start in a seated position. And any of that juicy goodness that you might have back behind you, move it out of the way. You really want to get right on those sitting bones. Sit up nice and tall, maybe extend through the crown of your head, and close down your eyes. Take a couple breaths here. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale out your nose. Connect to your breath. Follow it as it comes in through your nose, as it fills your chest and your lungs. And exhale completely. Set an intention for your day. Today is going to be a great day. We're going to put it into the world that today is going to be a great day. Big breath in, let it out completely. With every inhale, bring in new, fresh energy. And with every exhale, let go of what came before. Let go of that attachment that everything goes according to your plan. And just know that the universe has a better plan for you. And maybe that is according to your plan, maybe it's not. Either way, it's all good. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Starting today with a little movement. Let's inhale both those arms up. Reaching our hands up. Maybe we look up towards the ceiling or the sky, wiggling our fingers. Draw your palms together to touch. And down to your heart center. Today is going to be a good day. Inhale and exhale. Inhale both those arms up. Big breath in. And on your exhale, bring that right hand down. Send that left hand up and over. Opening up that side body. Pay attention to your left hip here. We really want to keep that anchor down towards the mat. Breathing in here. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can always walk those fingers out a little further. Pressing with your left hand. Maybe you look up. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale both those arms up. Exhale that left hand down. That right hand goes up and over, anchoring that right hip down to the mat. Maybe you look up here. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale both those arms up. We're going to do that one more time. Right hand down, left hand up and over. Inhale and exhale. Returning to center, left hand down, right hand up and over. Inhale and exhale. Returning back to center, big breath here, fold forward. Take a breath here, it's your first one. Let that shin hang down. Start to walk your hands back. Extend that left leg in front of you. And maybe it's off to the side, maybe it's directly in front of you. Make allowances for your body. Maybe move your belly in so that you can have a little greater range of motion in your hips. Tuck that right foot in towards your groin, wherever it may lie on your inner thigh is fine here. Breathe both your hands up, big breath in. Pivot your your body towards that extended leg. Start to hinge at the hips, reaching forward. And just reach here for a couple seconds, keeping that back nice and flat. Maybe you imagine your nose can boop your toes, even though we're nowhere near, it's okay. And once you find that nice little edge here, we can bring that hands down to your shins, your foot, your ankle, your knees. Make your back a little bit longer, and then on your exhale, maybe we deepen that fold just a little bit here. Maybe we let that head hang low. Take a couple full breaths here. Bring that left hand to the inside of your left ankle, palm facing inwards, I guess towards the right here. And then extend that right hand back behind you and up and over, finding a side body stretch here. 2 full breaths. Exhaling completely, draw your body back up to center and extend your right leg out. Give yourself a nice wide-legged stance here. I like to make sure all that juicy goodness is out of the way. I really want to feel myself sitting on those sitting bones, those hip bones down there. Take a big breath here. Make sure your belly is not inhibiting. So we're going to bring our bellies towards the inside here, just gently guiding it so we can have full range of motion of our hips. Big breath in, extending both our arms up. Exhale, hinging at those hips, folding forward. Notice as we move our bellies out of the way, we have a little more room here. And it feels good to maybe just dip one shoulder and dip the other shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe we release that chin down towards the chest. Let your head feel heavy. Let your torso start to feel heavy. Maybe our fingers gently walk out. Breathe here. Start to walk those hands back. Bring that left foot in towards the right. Drawing that right foot to extend out either directly in front of us or off to the side just slightly. Big breath in, bring both those arms up. Pivot towards that extended foot. Start to hinge at the hips, reaching forward. Once you find that reach forward, just kind of hold that for a second. Make your back nice and tall. Big breath in. On your exhale, those hands can come down to wherever they may be. Maybe we let our chin drop to our chest. Take a couple breaths here. Bring that right hand to the inside of your right ankle with the palm facing out. Extend that left hand back behind you and up and over, finding a side body stretch on this side. Take a couple breaths here. Start to release. Drawing your body back up to center and returning to your easiest, most comfortable seat here. Maybe that's sitting with your legs straight out. Maybe that's crisscross applesauce. Find your most comfortable seated spot. Reach up through the crown of your head, shoulders back and down. Big breath here, and then roll your chin to your chest. Exhale. On your next exhale, roll that right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe point that chin in a couple different directions until you find that perfect custom-made neck stretch. And once you find it, and you'll know, take a big breath in and exhale completely. Let gravity do its thing. Exhale, roll that chin back to your chest. On your next exhale, roll that left ear to the left shoulder. Point that chin in a couple different directions till you find that custom-made neck stretch. And once you do, take a big breath, breathe into that neck. Exhale completely. Let gravity take control. Inhale and exhale, roll that chin to your chest. And gently guide your head back up to center. And let's go to our hands and knees. Tabletop position. On our hands and knees, have your blocks handy if you choose to use them. Just do future you a solid here. Finding your knees right underneath your hips and your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Sway a little bit from side to side here. Take some natural movements. And returning to the stillness of your tabletop, shoulders back and down. My gaze is right in between my hands. Press into those hands. Start to round your back. Let your head drop down. Let your tailbone come forward. Coming into a cat pose here. Really press in through your spine. Maybe imagine like a cord pulling you up from your spine, lifting you like you're in a giant claw machine. And then exhale, let that belly start to come down. Let that heart start to shine forward. Maybe we look up, cow pose. Inhaling, rounding our back, dropping our head and tailbone, finding that cat pose one more time. Exhale, come into that cow pose, sinking that belly down, shining that heart forward. Returning to our tabletop, extend that right leg back behind you. Maybe the toes are pointing down. And maybe we rock gently back and forth on those toes a little bit, pressing that heel towards the wall. And then gently start to lift up on that right leg, pointing those toes down, paying attention to our hips. We want to keep our hips nice and level here. And then if we want to take this to that next level, we can extend that left hand out in front of us, reaching with that left hand, pressing that right heel back, finding the balance between push and pull. Big breath in, let it out completely. Bring that left hand back down. Bring that right knee back down. Sway those hips from side to side. Extending that left foot back behind you, toes down on the mat. Maybe we pulse back and forth on those toes, pressing that heel towards the wall behind you. Opening up that Achilles tendon. Returning to our stillness, lift up on those left toes, point those toes down towards the floor. Press that heel towards the wall behind you. Level out your hips here, and maybe we extend that right hand forward, reaching with that right hand, pressing with that left heel. Find that push and pull. Big breath in, let it go completely. Bring that right hand back down, bring that left knee back down. Spread your knees nice and wide, big toes together touch, sink those hips back, walk those hands forward. Allow that chest to slowly come down to the mat. Maybe your forehead comes down to the mat. Take a couple breaths here. Today is going to be a good day. Look for magic in every day. It's there. Big breath in, let go completely. Start to press yourself back up. Returning to our tabletop pose. Spread those fingers nice and wide, big starfish fingers. Our thumbs should be kind of pointing at each other. The bend of our elbows should be kind of facing each other. Tuck those toes underneath of you. Press into your hands, grip that mat, lift your hips, find your down dog here, pedal out your feet, bring one knee up and the other to the top of your mat. However you want to get there. I kind of crawl. Find that forward fold. Maybe let those hands hang down. Maybe you gently sway from side to side. Bring your hands to your shins. Create a flat back here. Bring your shoulders back and down. Your gaze is going to be right in between your feet, maybe just above. Big breath here. Fold completely. Bend deep into your knees. Press into your feet. Start to roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Stacking those vertebrae. Then your shoulders, neck, and head. Shoulders back and down. Arms at your side, palms facing forward. Find your mountain pose or Tadasana. Breathe in your mountain pose. Inhaling completely and exhaling completely. Big breath in, draw both those arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe we look up in between our hands. It may feel really nice to gently press our pelvis forward, finding a bit of a back bend here. Big breath in, turn those palms out, bring them out to your side, swan dive all the way down. Exhale. Take some natural movements here. It's a little sway from side to side. Hands on your shins, flat back, shoulders back and down. Exhale, fold forward. Extending those arms straight in front of you. Start to bend the knees and hinge at the hips. Coming up into our chair pose here. Our knees are bent just like you're going to sit into a chair and you know somebody's going to take that chair out from underneath you. And our biceps are going to be up by our ears. Our back is nice and straight. Our shoulders are back and down. Look down at your toes. Make sure you can see your toes. And if you can't, make some adjustments here. Find that chair pose. And once you're there, press into your feet. Bring your body all the way back up. Big breath here. Maybe it feels good to press your pelvis forward a little bit. Drawing that right hand down, keeping the left hand up. Maybe we give a little side bend here. Big breath in, bring that right hand back up. Left hand down, find a side bend over here. Inhale that arm back up. Big breath in, swan dive all the way down, fold forward. Bending heavily into our knees, step that right foot back nice and far. And then maybe bend that knee, coming to a kneeling position here. Scooping those hips down and forward. Maybe your blocks are a great accessory here. Pressing into the blocks, shine your heart forward. Sinking those hips nice and low. Being careful not to injure ourselves. We don't want that front knee to extend over our ankle. So if it does, maybe wiggle that front knee forward. Maybe wiggle that back knee back. Find a nice balance here. Take a couple breaths. Once you feel like you're sturdy and stable in this posture, maybe we can extend our arms up over our head. Kneeling warrior one. Sinking those hips down, maybe we look up. Exhale, bring those hands down to your blocks. Straighten that front foot. Start to lift those left toes up off the mat, sinking those hips down towards your feet. Maybe we walk our blocks a little closer to our hips here. Take a big breath here, make your back nice and flat. And on your exhale, maybe we deepen that fold. Inhale new fresh energy. Exhale what came before. Release. Start to bend into that front knee. Start to shift your body forward, bringing your hands back by your feet. Big breath here. Find that low lunge again. Let that back feel, those hips feel nice and low, sinking down and forward. Chest shining forward, shoulders back and down. Press into those blocks. Draw that left knee back to meet the right. Returning to our tabletop here. Sway those hips a little from side to side. Lovely. Lovely. And then bring that right foot forward. Returning to or coming to our low lunge on this side. Scooping those hips down and forward. Shine your heart forward. Maybe your hands come to the blocks or the mat next to your feet. Big breath here. Maybe when we feel sturdy and stable here, we can extend those arms out towards the ceiling. Maybe we look up. Bringing those hands back down to our blocks. Press into that right leg, right foot. Lift those right toes up off the mat. Sink those hips back. Make your back nice and long. And then on your exhale, maybe we deepen that fold. Maybe we release the head down. Start to bend into that right knee. Shifting your weight forward, bringing those right toes back down. Return to your low lunge here. Big breath in, let it go. Press into those blocks. Draw that right leg back to meet the left. Finding our tabletop once again. Shifting our hips a little from side to side. Sinking those hips back. Maybe spreading our knees nice and wide. Come to that child's pose one more time. Reaching those hands as far forward, bringing that forehead down to the mat. Maybe your chest. Breathe completely. Gently start to press yourself up. Returning to your tabletop and then come on down to a seat. And then travel a little further. We're going to lay down here on our backs. Knees bent, arms down at your side. Maybe we gently sway our knees from side to side here. And get real dramatic with it. Maybe as our knees sway to the right, our left hip gently lifts up off the mat. Maybe as our knees gently sway to the left, our right hip comes up off the mat. And maybe next time our knees are over to the right, we let them come down. You can always put a block under your knees if you feel like you need that extra support. Bring your arms out to a T. Press your hips and pelvis towards the right side of your mat. Point that left knee towards that lower right corner of your mat. Turn your gaze to the left, finding yourself in a reclined twist here. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Take a couple full rounds of breath here. And start to release. Tighten up on those tummy muscles. Draw those knees back to center. And continue on with your gentle sway from side to side. And the next time your knees are over to the left, let them gently find their way down. Bringing your arms out to a T, press your pelvis towards that left side of your mat. Point that right knee towards that lower left corner of your mat. And maybe turn your gaze to the right, bringing your gaze in the opposite direction that your knees are in. Take a couple breaths here. Inhaling completely, exhaling fully. Start to tighten up on those tummy muscles. Draw those knees back to center. And then draw your knees to your chest. Find find yourself in a happy little ball here and gently rock from side to side. And take your time. Maybe it feels good to kind of hang out on one side. Take your time. Bring those feet down all the way to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Let your knees splay out to the side. Finding yourself in a reclined bound ankle pose, maybe we bring our hands on top of our thighs. It may feel really good to gently add a little pressure here. It may not. It's going to be different for everybody. If this doesn't serve you, just back out of it. And then once you've got your legs set and you feel a nice stretch, we can draw our hands over to the sides, bending in our elbows, coming up with kind of a cactus arm shape here. And then draw your fingertips towards each other so your body's making kind of like a figure 8 shape here. Take a couple breaths here. Inhaling completely, exhaling completely. Gently start to draw your hands back down by your side. Maybe we put one hand on the outside of each thigh, gently guide our knees back towards each other. Inching our heels back towards our hip bones. We're looking to kind of line them up, but it doesn't have to be exact here. Just sort of kind of lined up. And then maybe we bring our hands down by our sides with our palms facing down. Press into your feet, lift your hips, come into a bridge pose here. Press your pelvis towards the ceiling and point your knees towards that wall ahead of you. Tightening those glutes. Take a couple breaths here. Exhale, start to roll that spine down nice and gently until those hips find their way onto the mat. Sway those knees a little from side to side. Return to your stillness. Bring your hands down by your side. Gently press yourself up, coming up into your most comfortable, easy seat. And once you're there, maybe we close our eyes. Maybe we find a little focal point on the floor in front of us. Sit up nice and tall with your shoulders back and down. As we prepare to start our day, let the world come to you. We spend so much time trying to chase the world. This is your time. Return to your breath. Notice that air as it comes in through your nose. Feel your chest rise and your belly expand. Exhale completely. Every day that you are in the world is a gift. You are a treasure and a gift to the world. Don't ever forget that. And today, as we close our practice, let's extend our arms up over our head, reaching through our fingers. Maybe we look up. Draw your palms together to touch. Bring them down to your heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me today for your short and sweet morning yoga flow. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you would like to see on our channel. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell, and we'll let you know every time that I post a new video. And until then, take care of yourself. Bye!